Thank you so much, Vincent, for the introduction and facilitating this session. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm Sakirat Okewole, and I am an international speaker, author, and personal growth coach. I've been an entrepreneur for way over a decade. And what drives me as an entrepreneur, I will tell you a little more about that when we get started on the session. Presently, I support individuals, entrepreneurs, and their team members with personal development, because my big belief, or my topmost belief, is that a developed nation or a developed business or a developed system can only come out of a developed mind. So I'm very passionate about first developing yourself, and everything that you touch is definitely going to develop. Tonight, we're going to be looking deeper into personal growth. Some of you might already be on that journey. It might be new to some people. Even me, myself, to be frank, I've just only gotten on this journey a few years ago. I never knew what personal development was a few years ago, and I was in business for a long time. So sometimes we're walking a journey that we're yet to really see what the journey entails. And that's why they do say that the journey of self-discovery is continuous. It's not a one-day journey. It's not something that we jump on today and then say, oh, I'm there already, and then you stop. That's navigating life with a fixed mindset. So I will go through my story, my talk. In the meantime, I would just want to say thank you so much for everyone. If you're able to turn on your camera, it's always good. There's an energy that flows when we can see our faces. It'd be nice to, see ourselves. And, one of the days we can see ourselves outside this space and we'll be able to connect. Thank you, Mr. Larry. I really appreciate that. I just really think there is energy when we see our faces, when we connect, when we, rub minds, rather than just, having that blank screen. So thank you very much for the honor. But yeah, a little bit about my story. I was born into a family of, we're 6 in number, and I grew up in a home where my mom and my dad, typical business persons, and my grandparents, typical business persons as well. So it's safe to say I have known business since my childhood. I've been navigating the journey of entrepreneurship since I was little. When I finished my secondary school, I joined my mom, who was selling spare parts of cars back home in Nigeria. I joined her in a shop and I started to support her business. And this was age 18 or thereabout. My very first business was when I turned 13. I wore this beautiful sandal to school on that day. And very funny, I love to talk about this a lot. I wore that beautiful sandal to school on that day, and a friend of mine said to me, oh, I love your sandal. And the typical business person in me, or the typical entrepreneurship energy in me, responded and said, oh, I could make that for you. And that was the beginning of my entrepreneurship. I was 13 years old. I was in, if you're Nigerian in the room, you would know what we call SS1. I was in my first senior class that year, and I made her a sandal, and a couple of other friends then said, oh, they do love the sandal. So I would go to the shoemaker in my area and then tell them about the design I wanted to make for people, and I started selling sandals in school, which was the start of my journey as an entrepreneur. One of the things that pushed me into entrepreneurship as well is the fact that on the journey of entrepreneurship, or as a child, let's say as a child, for me, I was thinking that the way to can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Lovely. Thank you. So I was thinking, because of my childhood, because of how I was raised, I was thinking that the way to be successful is to have businesses. Because I was raised from parents who are business owners. So I had already formed that belief in my mind that if I want to be successful, then I need to have many businesses. And that was the belief that I carried from childhood into adulthood. So when I got married, I started my business. I started off as an event designer. And that was way back in Nigeria as well. I started as an event designer. I was doing event floristry, wedding decoration, planning, and all that. And I was making money, to be frank. I was making money. So I started making money. I was quite comfortable. And when I made the money, what did I do with my money? So I would, look good for myself, look good for my husband, look good for the streets. I didn't invest my money. I didn't save my money. So when I had money, I would then think, oh, to be more successful, I think I need to have more businesses, isn't it? So I then started other business, then other business, then other business, till I found myself having multiple businesses. And what was driving me, it was still the belief that I brought up from childhood, that I came up with from childhood, that was still driving me. And if you want to be successful, you've got to have so many businesses. And like I said, I was wrong, because what happened, I then burn out. I burnt out meant that, and with burnout, if you don't know, burnout doesn't happen straight away. It's a gradual thing. Burnout is a gradual thing. It starts gradually from, when you start getting detached, when you start feeling unfulfilled with your journey, when everything is present, but you're not contented. Can anyone relate to that? So I don't really want you to, but if you can, it's exciting, because we might want to have a personal chat. Right. So when you start thinking unfulfilled, when you start feeling like, oh, what fulfills me? What even makes me happy? What makes me tick? When you start feeling that when you're on that journey, then it might be that burnout is already setting in. So I burnt out a few years ago, meant that I was really ill. I couldn't even be present for business. I became anxious, depressed, detached, and that is the level of burnout. And it got to the point where I became insomniac, which means I lost sleep. I couldn't sleep any longer. So I would manage to have 3 hours of sleep in the night. And even those 3 hours, it was difficult for the sleep to be nocturnal, which meant that if I slept, I would still be very much present in my conscious state. And for you to access a restful sleep, for you to access, that serene sleep, you must shut down. But my mind could not shut down. Why? Because it was filled with so many anxieties and uncertainties of what does the future hold? What do I need to do? How can I grow my business? How can I be the best wife for my husband? I had so many insecurities. I had so many uncertainties driving me. And so when it got to a point where I became really flat out and I was almost getting psychosis, then I was in the UK. I'm still in the UK presently, actually. So it got to a case where, they started calling the ambulance for me, because every now and then I'm palpitating, I had emaciation, I had lost weight, I looked horrible. Why? They couldn't trace what was wrong with me. So there was no diagnosis. And so it was forth and back. We, hired professionals who are, medically inclined to, at that point, I didn't know it was mental health. So all the results came out to say, I had high blood pressure and I wasn't sleeping well. And my gut was, I had digestive issues, different symptoms. And I started getting medicated for different things. However, I didn't feel better. And it got really bad because I didn't get a diagnosis. I didn't feel better. And I didn't think I was getting the attention that I needed to get. Here in the UK, I was flown back home to Nigeria. It got worse, and I started, I was taken to hospitals. I was taken to the hospital, I was taken to the churches and the mosques. I would sleep in the church for weeks, and they would do all of the prayers, and nothing really changed. And so, thank God for communication and networking. My dad had this doctor friend. They've been friends since childhood, which was also one of my doctors when I was a child, actually. And my dad said, you will visit this, my friend. Let's take you out of the church. And so I was taken out of the church after weeks and weeks of being in the church. I'm a Muslim, to be frank. But when life sets in, when burnout sets in, when you couldn't really place a diagnosis on what's wrong with you. If you're Africans in the room, you can relate to the fact that you start thinking, oh, maybe this is a spiritual attack. Maybe this is voodoo. Maybe this is black magic and all of that. So we started going to churches, we started going to mosques, and it got to a point where my dad then called his doctor friend, who is a psychiatrist. I was taken into the psychiatric home, which was where my journey really started, because that was my turning point, I'd say. So the doctor assessed me, looked at what my journey, looked at what the issues looked like, my symptoms and all that, and he said, you know what, this is just general anxiety disorder. I have never heard of it. And at that point, I'm a master holder. I hold the masters in public health. I do know what mental health is, but the word general anxiety disorder, I had never heard of it. Like, hold on to that name and to see how bad this thing can wreck us. And the awareness is not even out there about general anxiety disorder, because even me as an expert, as a public health expert, I didn't really know what that meant. To be frank, I'm not bragging. I'm quite bright when it comes to science, but I do not know what general anxiety disorder is. I do not know where it spanned from. I do not know what triggers it. I do not know how it is tamed. I do not know how it links to our body and our being. And so that was the beginning of my journey. I got diagnosed. I was in the psychiatric home. I was treated for quite a while. And good enough, I just needed to have a name to what was wrong with me. So that diagnosis was the doors that opened for me. I started to do some research about it. But before I even got to the point of research, I was treated. I was medicated. I was given some very funny medications. And I remember what the psychiatrist told me, because my dad was reporting me to the psychiatrist and saying, he's not taking her medication. Her sleep is not improving. Yes, she's not taking her medication. And so during the time when I would be discharged, the doctor said to me, if you don't use your medication, you will run mad. So that was another turning point for me, because I didn't want to run mad, but my situation was already getting close because I couldn't sleep any longer. I was anxious, I was angered, I was worried, I was panicking. My dominant state of being was tiredness, was frustration, was depression. I didn't want to see anybody. I shut out myself from life, and then I came out of Instagram, social media, stopped talking to friends. It was terrible. I couldn't be present for my husband, for my children, for my business. And life was just terrible at that point. And so when the diagnosis came on, and my doctor threatened me in an attempt to make me really take my medication, I started feeling better because I started sleeping. For side effect, I was numb. When I woke up in the morning, I was numb in my memory. I couldn't remember things. So do I want to continue that route of medication? Where I want to get to the point where I then become numb and I can be different medications, different side effects. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this to say this was what really made me own up to myself, because after my recovery, the question I started to ask myself was, if I had died in this process, would I have felt fulfilled? There is a saying that every man lives and every man dies. Rather, there is a saying that every man dies, but not every man truly lives. We all are going to die someday, but not everyone truly lives. The person who lives is that person who truly fulfills purpose. And I want you to, engage a little bit in the chat with me. Do you feel like you're fulfilling purpose? Put a 1 in the chat box if your answer is a yes, or even put a yes in the chat box if that's your answer. Do you really feel like you're fulfilling purpose? Do you feel like you're living and you're thriving? Do you feel that you're barely surviving? Do you feel like me some time ago? Do you feel like you're living in uncertainty? Do you think that you're navigating your life and responding out of fear? Or do you think you're responding out of certainty, saying that I know what I want, I'm on that journey, I don't need no help? Do you think that that's your situation? Let me see what our responses are in the chat box. I love it to be a bit engaging, because that way I know our state of mind and I can appropriately channel this talk.
So people will not have access to the chat. Maybe.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. That's fine.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. If that's the rule, that's all right. Yeah, so it's very important for us to pause and reflect. one of the things that people don't normally do is to pause and reflect. It's a fast-paced world, understood. Everyone's, out there. What's the next right move? What can I do? We're all busy. But this is your call to slow down and think inwards and really look inwards. Am I thriving? Am I on the journey that I want to be? Is this where I want to be? Right, that's the first question. If this is then where you want to be, fantastic. The next thing we also need to reflect on is, am I taking the right actions? Are my actions aligned to what I want? The topic of tonight, of course, is overcoming success block. And I am going to share you 5 things that I want you to start looking at in overcoming these success blocks, because everyone is meant to maximize their potential. But if you're not in the right environment and you're not taking the right actions, chances are you can leave, then die, then not really fulfill the things that you want to fulfill. And so one of the things I like to do for people, or I like to do, I did mention as well, I'm a training counselor and I help people with their mental health. And one of the things I help them do is to take them into funeral meditation. And funeral meditation can be quite scary, but it's quite good. It's a meditation that takes you into pausing and looking at your last day in life, or your last day when you're being entered, when this body is being entered into the ground. What do you want to hear people say about you? Because it's not about everything that we have. One day we are all going to go. So what do you want to be remembered for? What impact you want to be remembered for? Quite big, but do we really slow down and think about it? I know it's cliche. We hear these things in churches, in mosques, we hear amongst conversations. But when we really pause and answer that question for myself, oh, okay, Shakira, what do I want to be remembered for? I want to be remembered for X, Y, and Z. That's one thing I want us to do. And I'm going to take the next 1 minute to pause because I really want you to pen this down. I'm a very intentional person, which is one of the things that I have been doing that has been, giving me big results. Like I said before, I was into different businesses and I burnt out. I burnt out because the way that I ran the business, the way that I defined success was burning me out. So until I healed from anxiety disorder and then start questioning myself and then start reflecting and answering those questions. Until I did that, did I really start saying that I haven't been thriving? I have barely been surviving. I've just been there. I didn't know what I wanted clearly. Sometimes it does look like we know what we want. However, sometimes we do need to slow down and really think and align our actions with what we truly want. So I want to invite you this evening to take the next 1 minute to really reflect. Am I walking purpose? So I'm just going to pause right here for the next 1 minute to ask yourself that question. Am I walking purpose? Am I taking the right action? Is this who I want to be? Is this what I want to be? Right. I don't know if you do find answers, but one thing is certain, it could be disruptive, but that's where you hold space to connect with your innermost self and see the journey that you're walking. Like I said, I would share five things that you need to look at in order for you to overcome success block. Number 1 is a clear intention for your life, for your work, and for your business. What is the clear intention that you've set? Intention is the purpose. Why am I a tech business owner? I don't know how to define that now, but why am I in tech? What's your big intention? Are you there to, make the next few bucks? Are you there to, enrich your pocket? Are you there to solve problems for the world? What is the big intention? What do you see? What do you see in the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? What do you see? What is the bigger picture? This is number 1 thing that you need to be defined on. Because if you carry on this journey and you don't have that definition, you're not sure of where you're headed, you're not sure of your big vision. If you carry on like that, chances are you get to a point where you feel tired. You feel tired because the vision wasn't clear in the beginning. And so, like I said, it's a fast-paced world. AI, ChatGPT, and all of those things. Thank God I'm talking to tech people. All of those things replacing a lot of things, replacing connection, networking, replacing, it could make business really tough. Again, how are you intentional with what you want to do? With your work, do you have a clear vision? Do you have a clear vision on where you're taking this business in the next few years? Because otherwise, you're just going to be going, and sometimes you can feel tired if the intention is not strong enough. You just find yourself coming out of it. And if you are someone that suffers from shiny object syndrome, you see this, you like it, you see that, you like that, you're then not clear on the path that you're working. And so you can get tired easily. So number one is for us to define the intention of our work. Define an intention for your life. Who do you want to be? That's a clear intention. For your work, for your business, where do I want to see this business in the next few years? What do I need to do to get that business to where I want it to get to? Really visualize, really see. It is an intentional work. As a successful person, I've mingled with lots of successful people, and it boils back to the point that a lot of successful people will visualize. They would see clearly what they want to have. Even before it happens, they've already believed that they can do it. So they see clearly what they want, and they have the intention defined. Even one of the laws of universal success is that when we are defined with our vision and we have a clear intention, most likely the things we want is going to happen quicker. So number one is a clear intention. If you truly want to, have sustainable success, you need to have a clear intention. You need to be sure where you're headed. You need to be sure what you want. Because when it's not happened yet, it's the intention that keeps you going. Secondly is mindset. And this is very big for every one of us. Very big. The mindset that you have, whether it is the mindset that wants to learn or that wants to grow, or the mind that knows everything already and they feel like there is nothing more to learn, or a mind that is even filled with fear, ego, greed. Having such a mindset can be a big success block. In a way, all of us want to, you want to have that soft life. You want to enjoy life. You want to create the life that you dream of or that you desire. However, in creating this life, we need a mindset to drive what we want. We need that mindset to drive our goals. So if your mind is always, very negative, and you couldn't be positive, and you couldn't, overcome your fears, you're still living life with fears. You're still thinking, maybe this is possible or this is not possible. Maybe you're even doubting yourself. A lot of people today still live in self-doubt. And so they're playing small. They have big ideas. They're meant to take to the world. They need to navigate or maybe even talk to customers. They need to do sales call. But the mindset is saying you cannot do it. The mindset is filled with negative beliefs. The mindset is filled with limiting beliefs. And you couldn't hold yourself to take bold actions. It is a big success block because success itself is a mindset. Success is a mindset. If you believe that you will be successful, chances are you will. There is a saying that if you say you can, yes, you can. You say you can't, yes, you can't. And that's it. The mindset is really big. Another one, the third one, which is very important. Please don't joke with this, is your personal development. And I want to ask this question. I want to throw it into the room. If anyone can just unmute themselves and tell me, What's the percentage of humans that you think have embraced personal development? What's the percentage of humans that you think have embraced personal development? Does anyone think they want to share their answer? It's okay, whatever you think is okay. Anyone in the room wants to share what they think about that? What's the percentage of people that you think has embraced personal development?
10%.
Hi, Alex. Good evening. What did you say? 10%?
Yes, 10%.
That's really close. I think 15% of people, just 15% of humans have embraced personal development, leaving the remaining 85% out of the league. And surprisingly, 95% of people think that they have embraced it. So out of the 85% of people who haven't embraced personal development, 95% of them think they have embraced it. And this is a big blow. Because if you do not even know what you hold, what you have, or what needs to change, or what you need to start holding, then it's going to be a block. It's going to be an obstruction for your growth. Now, what is personal development? Personal development is an awareness of who you are, what you need in terms of your mind, your skills, your tools, your circle, your patterns and your habits. And now you begin to change that for what you want to happen. So not everyone still knows the kind of body they have. Not everyone still knows the kind of mind that they have. Not everyone still knows the kind of brain that they have. Not everyone still knows the kind of soul, energy that they have. So the moments that you embrace self-awareness and begin to look deeper about yourself, to know your body type, to know your mindset type, to know your energy type, and the way you will and your confidence level, the moment you begin to chart all of those awareness, that moment you begin to embrace, oh, what is next for me to change? Or what can I do better? Or who do I need to know? They say that, success can be for everybody, but yet success is not for everybody. Why is success not for everybody? For those who are successful, what do they do? For those who are great with their works, what do they do? It is down to their mindsets and to their personal development. A few years ago, like I said, I didn't know what personal development was. I didn't know how to set goals. I didn't know how to track goals. In fact, so there was a time I was scared to set goals because I was saying, what if it doesn't happen? Imagine that's a limiting mindset, which some people might have in the room. I mean, we're about 10 of us in the room right now. So it's as good as saying maybe 2 of us here are personally developed or consciously developed. However, 9 of us might claim that we are. So are you the one that is developed personally? Are you the one that is conscious of growth? Are you that person that is intentional and conscious of growth? Are you that person? Think about it. Can I be that person? How can I know if I am personally developed? How can I know if I am taking this journey very seriously? So if you don't have a clear vision for yourself, you need to embrace personal development. If you do not have goals, if you're not clear on your goals, big, airy, audacious goals, you need to embrace personal development. If you're not able to shut out distractions and really respect yourself and discipline yourself to take action on the things that matters to you, you have not embraced personal development. If you do not know the circle that you need, the environment that you need, the things that you need to do, you've not embraced personal development. If you're not structuring yourself, structuring your life, you have not embraced personal development. If you're not pausing and slowing down and reflecting and analyzing your results, you've not embraced personal development. If you're not speaking out and you've not accepted yourself enough to love yourself enough, accept yourself enough, respect yourself enough, you've not embraced personal development. So I'm breaking this down into the nitty-gritties of how we think and our habits, our patterns, our daily behaviors. If you do not rise up daily to a powerful routine that helps you get results, you've not embraced personal development. If you're not tracking your results, you've not embraced personal development. So this is an invitation for us all to look inward and see, where am I lacking on my journey of personal development? Do I still have fears? Am I looking back to my childhood and looking back to where trauma might be holding me back? I talk a little bit about trauma because, of course, with counseling, that is always a root cause for a lot of things. I mean, the internet is filled with a lot of do this and don't do this these days. A lot of information is like an overload of information. But whilst taking in this information, we must continually ask ourselves, why is this happening to me? The root cause of things, always important. So if I tell you, okay, these are the 3 things you need to do, and you're not able to do them, continually focus on, why can I not do them? It's always a powerful thing, looking at the root cause. So if I say embrace personal development, think about, why have you not yet embraced personal development? What's stopping you? Could it be ignorance? Like I said, even me, myself, some years back, I didn't know what personal development meant. With the fact that I was a director of a very big company that year, plus other companies that I also ran. So with the fact that I was that person, I still did not know what personal development meant. And that's not to say you don't know it, but it is very common out there. Recently, I was still speaking to a boss of an organization, and I was talking to them about, hiring us for a mindset call for their employees. And I was telling them about hiring us for self-awareness stuff for their employees. And the boss was saying, what does self-awareness mean? This is a very big company. So it's to tell you that sometimes we can even hold position. We can be business owners, but maybe not business leaders, because they are 2 different things. You can own a business and not lead it. That you're a business owner doesn't mean you're a business leader. So I had to break it down for them and let them understand that, these are the reasons why your employees will not be able to close clients. They might have personal issues they brought into work. They might need to look into their traumas and their triggers. I had to break it down to them. Though they had an idea, but the fact that they do not yet know that self-awareness is key with the productivity their employee brings on board. It's still, and that's to tell you that, you can hold big positions and still be lacking on some things. However, for you to sustainably have this success, personal development will help you zone in and own your craft. It will help you do well with your, tech work. It will help you know when to slow down and when to pause. It will help you become very instinctive. It will help you become very intuitive as well. You can trust your ideas. So many times we help clients, and when I hear their ideas, they are really fantastic. But they've been doubting themselves for way too long. They couldn't own that their ideas matter. And so they will chunk it. It will come to them, they will chunk it. But when we get into the stuff, we look at, why can't you trust yourself? So there's an awareness of themselves that is going on there, that they were never, they never really even trusted themselves. That's why they couldn't proceed on their ideas. So I say this to say, so many times we need to slow down and look at what is the why behind everything that we're doing. And when we embrace personal development, it makes us know our why. It makes us know why you're quick to anger, or that other person is an anxious person, or that other person is. It makes you know your dominant emotions. Personal development also makes you become emotionally intelligent, because then you know why you're quickly angered. You know why you're quickly fearful. You know why you are responding out of fear, and you can monitor your patterns. Very powerful. Some of these things looks like, general talk, but when we really slow down, you will see that one way or the other, there's something to look out for. There's an area to develop. So by the time you take up your personal development seriously, you would also see that the things you start touching will develop. One of the big ways that I think personal development has also impacted me and my journey is in parenting. So I started setting time out, structuring time out for reading. And that one move that I made a few years ago has impacted my children. One of my children doesn't really like reading, but now he loves reading. And now he's also working towards becoming a speaker. And I have another one who is a 3 times millionaire reader. From that one action I took when I started going on the journey of personal development. Because one of the things they'll tell us to do, I hired a coach that helped me navigate the journey of personal development. And one big thing we were doing that year was reading at a particular time. So 9 p.m. every Monday and Thursday was our reading time. And that simple habit changed me, is now changing the life of my children and even the life of their friends. Because now when they hang out with their friends and all that, they are readers. They are readers. The way they think is different, even for their ages. So when you embrace personal development, you would not imagine how many people will be influenced. Your clients will pick it up when you work with them. They will know that this is the right person for me. Your friends, your circle will change. You begin to attract the right person into your life. Don't forget, we attract based on who we are as well. So if you want to be that big person, if you want to be highly successful and attract more successful people, it starts with you personally. And we frequently say, I've not achieved what I want to achieve. I don't know what I want to do, or I still have, a long step ahead of me. But with personal development, you're able to focus on all areas of your life. Nothing feels missing. All 12 areas of your life, actually. Please give me a yes, maybe unmute yourself and give me a yes if you know that we have 12 areas of life. If you can tell us these 12 areas of life, give me a yes in the chat. Okay, sorry, there is no chat box now. Kindly just unmute yourself and give me a yes if you know that we have 12 areas of life. Because one of the reasons we burn out again is because we feel like something is missing. I feel like something is wrong. It's a feeling, isn't it? When you're not fulfilled, it's a feeling. You know deep down that there's more to be done. And so it's always in one or other area of our life. But however, if you're not yet in awareness of which area of your life is missing, it can also be an issue. It can also bring about burnouts. And then you're trying this and you're trying too hard and you're trying too many things. However, what you need to even change, you've not really discovered that. So unmute yourself and just give me a yes, or just give me a confirmation that we've got 12 areas of life, and maybe you're already looking at those areas of your life. Anyone in the room? Or maybe just give me a thumbs up, reactions. Just give me reactions. I can see that on your screen. All right, these are some of the reasons that we feel unfulfilled. See, when you embrace personal development, you work on all 12 areas of your life. It's a 360 movement and nothing is missing. Whether your quality of life, your parenting, your emotional life, your social life, nothing is missing. And so chances of burnout is slim. So I was giving you 5 tips that you need to check to overcome success block. And I said intention, your mindset. The third one I was talking about is personal development. The fourth one is problem solving. Problem solving is the fourth one. When we show up on our businesses or even in our lives to solve problems, you become a value provider. And don't forget what they say about success. Success gravitates towards value. When you solve problems, you're a value provider. And success validates towards value. So we've got to be thinking about, what problem am I solving? With your tech work, with the works that you're doing in tech, what problems are you solving? And how sustainable is this problem that I am solving? What problems am I solving? And how sustainable is it? And you need to also be linking that back to the intention. Why am I in tech? Why am I in this tech? Could there be any other thing that I'm good at, that I really want to do, that I have not started doing? One of the ways to know this is when you look back into your childhood, because everyone's got a gift. Everyone's got that talent that God has put into us, that your Creator has given to you for free. And that's why it's called the gift. It's been given to you for free, to use, to serve others, to grow, to shine with. However, not everyone is already on this path. Maybe some of us are not even meant to be in the tech field. Maybe you're meant to be a lawyer, or maybe you're meant to be author of books. You probably have a book that you wanted to write. Maybe you're meant to be other things. And maybe yes, you might be a tech person. You might want to be a tech person. Maybe that's where you're meant to be. But of course, how are you able to, how should you use yourself in service as a tech person? Because I do know there are branches and different areas of tech and all of that. I'm not quite tech savvy. I do know that there's a lot of things you people do. But the basics of thing is, have you looked into seeing where you really fit into for this tech journey that you're on? Or have you gone to learn it because, the new thing is that tech providers are very wealthy. There's so much money in it. Because sooner or later, it becomes a success block. If it is really not for you, if the intention was just for income, what about for impact? What about serving the purpose? What about using that to really serve the gifts that that the Creator has given to you? That's another angle to look at problem solving. So think about solving problems sustainably with your work, with your tech work and your tech career. That way, you're going to be able to have sustainable success. The fifth one is positioning. Positioning is very important too. It says it's not only about what you know, it's also about who you know. And the people you know, the people you attract, is based on who you are. I said that before. And this is an option of positioning. How do you position yourself? How do you position your work? Do you have the right expertise? Do you have the right branding for you to be seen as a professional? For you to be hired as that professional? For you to be, for you to look personable, that's the word, so that people want to work with you. Clients wants to work with you. People can refer you. How have you positioned yourself? If you're running this business like a side hustle, the results that you get is a side hustle results. But if you're running it as a global brand, you position as a brand that people should see, people should work with, people should hire, and you're consistent and you're structured and you're organized and you're, putting yourself where you should be, positioning can change things for you very quickly. Like I said, I used to be in design space, doing event designs and all that. And one of the things I noticed in there is that there are so many great designers out there. During the time when I was, event designing, we do a lot of pitching. So we'd go to clients and go and pitch what we want to deliver for them in terms of event designs. And you see so many people all well put together, looking all nice and wonderful, come into the room, pitch their business. They don't have so much. They might not have as much competence as you have. But once they look branded, they look all put together, they're getting the gig. So positioning is very important. I know these things takes effort, but it is doable for us to position ourselves as that expert, for us to look good and smell good, for us to do good and look like what we want to attract. We need to look like what we want to attract, very importantly. So these are my 5, very big, I call it very big moves for us to start thinking about in order to overcome success. I could come here and tell you, oh, rest, sleep well, eat well, drink well, exercise well. Yes, those are some of those are also things that you should do. But when you walk this journey of intentionality, you would respect yourself to exercise. You don't need to be told to exercise, because you do know that when you exercise, you improve yourself, you improve your wellness, you improve your thinking and productivity. When you become intentional, you take the right actions. You have habits in place. You have routines in place that helps you get results. And then you're not chasing. You're attracting, because you only need to be and do the right things. And then the right result comes to you rather than chasing. So I've been able to share these 5 points, which number 1 is intention. Number 2 is mindset. Number 3 is personal development, which is very key. So once you embrace personal development, all other areas that I have mentioned, whether the intention, the mindset, the problem solving, the positioning, everything will start to align. So personal development is really central. I'm just going to grab a couple of drinks, sorry. Personal development is really central to everything that we do. So I think I'm going to take a bit of pause here. I want to take some questions. And yeah, I'll take some questions and we'll see where we go with that. So if you have any questions, let me take a pause here and take some questions. I am also going to ask questions if you don't have questions. So I'm going to ask questions. I love to, interact and see where you are and see where you might truly need help. And just see how I can support you further. So whether you or whether your employees, because I do know that some of us in the room might have a bigger team, and you might be looking at also bringing personal development to them. So yeah, question. The floor is open for question. Question. Have I said anything that resonates with you? Have I said anything that triggered something? Have I said anything that is a bit disruptive that you'd like to challenge? Question. Very important. They say your success and your result is in the quality of questions that you ask. So here is your moment to ask those questions. It could be about my story. It could be about the strategies I've shared. It could be around anything that you're going through with your maybe mindset, your belief system, very important, self-awareness. Question. Any question in the room? Have I done total justice to the conversation? Is there any question?
Please, no. Just commentating.
Hello, Kusi Boateng. You're unmuted. Did you want to ask a question? Okay, any question? All right, I do have a question. Hi. Okay, hi, Ola.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, 100%. I can hear you.
Oh, mine is not a question. I just wanted to say thank you for this insightful session, and we do appreciate you. So just to let you know.
Oh, thank you.
Sharing your story. I know I'm passionate about mental health when people don't talk about what they go through. So very proud moment.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so that was Kusi Boateng, Philomena. Good evening, everybody. My name is Ola Rose normally. But anyway.
Oh, okay.
Sorry,
Ola. Sorry to pause you there. So the person who spoke before was Kusi Boateng.
Yeah, that was
Philomena. Thank you, Kusi. I mixed things up.
She jumped into my.
Oh,
Anyway,
I'm sorry.
I just
I'm
want
looking for
to. No
trouble.
worries. I just want to know what your take is on therapy.
okay. So in terms of take, what do you mean by that?
So if somebody has got some challenges, or people like women who have struggled, who've had traumas and stuff like that, if they come to you and they ask a question like this, what would be your take? What would you suggest to them? Should they go ahead with the therapy, or you don't feel it's necessary? Yeah, that's what I mean by what's your take.
Therapy is for you and I. Therapy should be part of every human being. Therapy is healing. I know that there's a lot of stigma that comes with therapy because people believe that, if you go into therapy, something is wrong. To be frank, something is wrong with all of us.
Oh, yeah.
Every
You're
living
correct,
person.
100%.
And therapy is really simple. Tell you what, I'm a level 3 training counselor and I'm still in therapy. My therapist is still in therapy. Okay. So in fact, one of the big things that you must do as a therapist is you must continually be in therapy yourself. Because to heal others, you must first heal yourself, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we carry all this toxicity and the trauma and the trigger, we carry it all around. Being aggressive with one another, being pained by one another, being, triggered by one another. So therapy is for you and I, it's for everybody. I am still in therapy, like I said. I take therapy almost every time because as a training counselor as well, it's a criteria. You must be in therapy. And even when I become fully certified therapeutic counselor, you still must be in therapy. So it's very simple. What therapy does is, see how we're having conversation like this. Tell you what, it is therapy.
Yeah.
The only thing is the people who does therapy for you, they've got the certification to use science-based theories and skills and some frameworks to help you navigate the conversation, which subconsciously I've done some of that with us here already.
Okay, I joined late though, so yeah.
Say again.
I joined late. I do apologize. I've been very busy.
Okay. Oh, that's all right.
I just said, let me just jump in and see what's happening.
Yeah. I mean, you came in at the right time. So therapy is for you and I. Therapy, when you go into a therapy room, what is done there is we're having a conversation. They'll just basically ask you some questions and you have a chat. And in speaking out about some things, you will find relief. After the session, it will open new pathways of thoughts in your mind that, did I really say that? Sometimes you might even blame yourself. Why did I say that? But it was the best thing you did. Because when you talk, you're releasing. We carry around unconscious strategies that we don't know, unconscious beliefs. When I started talking, when I introduced the session, I said a bit about my story. That the reason I chased success so much as an adult that then led me to burning out was because of my belief as a child around success. But I didn't know that was what was driving me. I wanted to have many businesses. I wanted to be here and there. I thought that was the definition of success. But I burnt out. And so when I burnt out and I almost died, I then started questioning myself that if I had died, did I truly live this life? And my answer was no at that time. So I had to hire someone. I hired a coach who walked me through mindset shifts. And after that, I then got into counseling myself. And this is what led me into even becoming a mental health counselor and speaker. It was because I found therapy. I healed. I became vulnerable. As you can hear, Kusi said that Kusi was saying thank you for sharing. People don't want to talk. I didn't have the confidence to also talk about my story before. But therapy had healed me so much so that I don't care what other people think. I'm not waiting for validation. If I feel something is right, I'm doing it because it's big disrespect to myself if I don't follow my gut feelings, and I have to respect your own gut feelings, but not mine. So it was a journey. It was a journey. And it is still a journey. It still continues. So please, therapy is for everybody. If you think that you want to, go for therapy and you've been holding back, go for it. The minimum session for therapy is 5 sessions. I cannot do therapy for you yet because I'm not fully trained mental health counselor, but I can do coaching for you because I'm fully trained for that, fully certified for that. So, and in coaching, it's quicker. Therapy might take time. Therapy does take time because it does involve a lot of talking and a lot of digging into your emotions, but it works 100%. Coaching is very fast. It makes you become resilient. It makes you speak up and talk out. It makes you have the confidence to navigate life. And so I want to encourage you, go for therapy, go for coaching, and you will be amazed.
Thank you. But that's if people think they need to go for therapy. I was mentioning before, okay, but I don't think to this I don't think people here would have because I haven't really mingled with everybody here. But I've said it before.
Yeah.
We used to have some events in the past, and we hope to do that again soon. Tolu. So yeah, I've had therapy as well. Some of us are dealing with traumas, some of us are dealing with loads from, like, one of the therapy I went through. Yeah. I was able to understand that most of what we're carrying now, we've carried it from generations yet unknown.
Absolutely.
So from our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers, our genealogy down to us, we've carried those burdens we don't know about. We didn't know whoever
absolutely
happened to, that kind of thing. We didn't even happen to anybody in our lineage.
Absolutely.
So what happened to the mother of my grandmother, or the mother to the mother of my, yeah. And it keeps repeating. And that's why I like some of these people, like the Asian people. It's not all of them though, but some of them, they pass information from one generation to the other.
Yeah.
To say, okay, this happened to this person, this person used to do this person used to do that. This also happens to this person. Like one lady, she said how her grandmother was badly treated by the grandfather. And then her mother was badly treated by the father. And then she too was badly treated by her husband.
Yeah, it's a generational patterns. Yeah.
Yes, because it has been built into them to tolerate some things. They didn't nip it in the bud. And so it grew wings.
You're right. You're right. Which is why we need to
I've had a challenge before that I said to one of my cousins. I said, look, if this guy does anything to you, I will travel down and hit him hard. I don't care. He's a military guy. He's not going to go on, It just tells you what I must have been through and what I'm ready to do right now. Because it just has to stop. It can't continue. Well, a lot of us, I've seen a lot of women, because I've been into women's stuff a lot here in the UK.
Yeah.
And so a lot of women are, unaliving in silence.
Yeah.
I've worked in the mental homes too, where women with challenges coming from trauma places, coming from disappointment, deception, and stuff like that. Women who are doing very well. Of course, pardon me, it's not just women,
Yeah,
there are men.
Even men, yeah. Right.
I've seen women who beat up men.
Right, correct.
But depending on the situation, yeah. If a man has been hitting a woman, the woman decides to retaliate one day, I don't think it's a bad idea. God forgive me.
So, like you said, it's generational. So we hear about generational curses. So hardly is there any curse. It's generational patterns, and like you've just broken it all down.
And trauma passing down from
And so that's why we all see why I said therapy is for everybody, because when you heal and I heal and everyone heals, we pass down the gene, isn't it? To our children and the children's children, and we can break that pattern and we can spend the cycle. So absolutely, therapy is for you and I. So let's keep advocating for it together. It's for everyone. It's for everyone, because like you also said, we carry trauma, which I mentioned the other time, that we operate with unconscious strategies that we don't know, unconscious attitudes that we don't even know is there, that is triggering our behavior, and it is there, but we don't know. So it takes us to slow down, which is why I said, when you embrace personal development, every other thing will change. You will start feeling free and living free and becoming free and attracting great things. So the bigger the trauma we carry, the bigger the block to success. So therapy is for everyone. I would one thing I'll do is, then my assistant is on the call, Daniel, please, but we can't share a link now because there's no chat box opened. But what we will do is we will send this link to my brother who invited me, Vincent. If you can put it in your Telegram group, is a link to we always have this 3-day session where we look inwards and we clean. It's called Fully Unveiled. We look inward, we clean, we take some actions on all areas of our life. We look into our emotions and other areas, and we break habits that are not serving us, patterns that are not serving us. Because that's where it all starts, from cleaning the mind and having a proper plan that helps us navigate issues like trauma, triggers, and trials, and have a proper plan to our bigger picture. I would, I will send the link to Vincent, and I would encourage you to join. It's a 3-day session. And the way we do it, we don't do 3 consecutive days. So how we do it is Wednesdays. We usually do on Wednesdays, just like we're doing Wednesdays like this. It would then be 3 consecutive Wednesdays, so that all the assignments, all the reflections, all the cleaning up that you need to do per class before another, we let you do it. And this session is also very powerful because it comes with a plan for you to look at what is missing in every area of your life. So I think it would serve you well. And we'll send the link to Vincent and I'll share it with you all.
Thank you very much. That was a wonderful session. And just as you,
please,
just
so
as
I
you
want to
said,
ask one more question. What is it, free or?
It's paid for. It's paid for. It's paid for.
So how much is this? Everybody here knows, and get ready if you're interested.
It's a £125 program, but we pen it down to £57. We can pen it down to £57 for you tonight if you want to join us for a 3-day session.
Okay.
But it's worth the investment.
So everybody has heard, though, and there's no need dying in silence. And there's no shame.
No.
There's no shame about, whatever has happened. Yeah,
I tell you what, I have a workbook. It's called Awaken My Millionaire Mindset. This workbook, when I use it with people, oh God, then you would hear testimonies. Things that those people don't even know that they've buried. That is, like you said, trauma is like, it weighs you down, isn't it? It doesn't let you fly and be free and just find that peace. It just weighs you down. It just keeps you grounded there. It's a block, like you said. And it's a work that no one can do for you. It's a do-it-yourself kind of work. You have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
So encouragement is come in and do it yourself. Come in and, do the cleanup. It's always a safe space anyway. So as you can see, the way I teach, I was meant to share a slide, but what's the point? I always like to come in natural and just, because I'm not the type that just wants to overload you with talks or slides or whatever. I talk to you about what has happened and what you can relate to and what you really need to work on. So come closer. Let's do that session together. I think you would benefit from it.
Okay, thank you. So if you get back to your inviter,
I will
can get the links, and then anybody who is interested can jump on and invite friends and family and everybody.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. It is. We're still on it. A wonderful session, and it really got me thinking. And I want to thank you very much for sharing your story at the beginning. It was really touching. I was like, wow. And it kept me thinking that because Ola is
Sorry,
taking.
to have another question. Did you record it? Did you record it? You must know I came today. Did you record it? You must remember I came today. Did you record it?
Check if it's recording now. You know. Yes, it is.
Okay, so I'll watch it later. Go on.
I've lost my train of thought.
Oh, I think you
Don't
were
punish me.
talking.
Don't punish me. Don't guilt trip me
So
now.
I wanted to say that I was jotting down some things, and yes, Ola was taking it from one aspect, but where you came from is just what doesn't even get to us. So Ola, we're taking it from maybe repeated or abuse and whatever. But in our day-to-day work, where we change a lot of things, I want to be on this training. I want to be on that training. I want to pass this exam. Is the thing here for us. So really, we really need to watch
Tolu,
it.
you are the most guilty one in this place. You are the most guilty one. Every certification you have done.
That's why I've said I was thinking about myself too. I was having a thought because people have told me as well that I see that I don't rest, but I don't know. I'm checking myself that well, it is well. I will. This we have been recording sessions all along. This is first session. I will go back to listen to from beginning to end. I'll go back to listen to today. We record every session. I don't go back to them because I will be on the training. But this one, I'll go back and I'll get back to you. Definitely. So thank you. It was really insightful. It was really it dragged some things out of me. So,
Thank you for that. I did hear that you're always on training a lot. Please rest, please. Yeah. If that is true, please find some rest. It will happen when we begin to take intentional decisions. I mean, that was me. Like I said, I was always on what's the next business I can do. If I have any small money, what can I do? It's always a business. Whereas there are other things as well. And by the way, if you take financial literacy courses, you'd realize that business is just one out of 8 ways to grow our finances. However, we only always think it's business. It's just one out of 8 other ways to make to grow our finances. But yeah, thanks for sharing that. I look forward to hearing from you, Tolu, if you have anything that you want us to do together.
Thank you very much. We need this kind of thing over and over again. And just as you promised, Vincent will get back to us on the links, and I will advise everybody to check it out. She has discounted the rate again to just 50-something pounds, which is a day at Cosmo or one eating joint. So please let's avail ourselves.
Me, I have business to do with you too. Not just
Hello.
Hello, Runzi. Hello, Runzi.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, you're on.
Oh, okay, thank you. Sorry. Just wanted to thank you. I joined late, but I wanted to thank you for everything that you shared.
Yeah.
And it made me think of something that I saw not too long ago. It said, if you're not changing, you're choosing. And then after listening to you speak, I realized that sometimes we end up maybe doing too much and we're not fulfilled because we're not doing that thing, like what you said, where our gifting is, and it just ends up being a blocker. So this was really good. Just really time for true introspection. And like you said, maybe it's just one of those things where you have to dig deep and just truly discover what is it that is maybe blocking you from getting to that place where you thrive, right? Not just chase something because that's the trend, that's the in thing, that's what employers are looking for, or that's the money maker, right? But what is one thing that I'm gonna where's my gifting and what am I going to really thrive in? So thank you for that. Oh, and also where can I get information on the link? Sorry, to the
are you all in the same community? Are you in the Rockitech community, Runzi?
I'm on I got this from the Consultants Hub.
Okay, so yes, I just tag I've sent something there just recently to say we are live. Just send me a hi there, and then I'll pick it up from there. Just say hi on that. Just reply to that message. Say hi.
Okay, thank you so much. I will do.
Okay.
Thank you, Rumzi. I really appreciate it, and I'll look forward to connecting with you. If you're on LinkedIn, my handle is Sakirat Okewole. You might find two of them there. There's one for support worker. There's one for speaking and coaching. So it will be the one for speaking and coaching. That's why I'm highly responsive on LinkedIn. Sakirat Okewole.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about the chat. It's Teams. We've tried to see how we can go around about that, but no, Teams doesn't allow when it's not. If all of us were registered on this particular channel now, we can see the chat. But some people can see the chat because they are part of the organization. But most people will not be able.
I see.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right.
Right. So thank you once again, and thank you, Vincent, for bringing such to us. It's really just as we normally say on Rockitech, it's not all about IT work. We want to see how we can maintain a work-life balance. And even in our retro yesterday, that still came up about work-life balance. So please, because no matter how you make money or what have you, if you don't have the body to now spend it, to now enjoy it, what's the essence?
Honestly. You know what you just said now, Mr. Tolu, is one thing I always look back when I'm pushing myself too hard, is a reminder that if we push ourselves to limit and then we burn out, how then do we really want to enjoy that life? And I think my burnout, the story of my burnout is a reminder for me. It's a gift, I would say. You know, things happen to us, we look back and we feel regretful. But for me, when I look back to that story, I just feel so fulfilled that it happened to me. It was tough. It was very uncomfortable. I mean, I lost friends, lost relationships, lost money, lost businesses, almost lost myself. But I still thank God for that moment, for that journey. It was for months. It happened for some months. I'm very thankful. It's what made me also left my event designing business and close down other businesses I was doing and just focused on coaching to support people. Because that's really me. It really made me discover myself, my journey, my gift. Who am I? What do I want to do? Which is why I started speaking and started supporting people. And I left other businesses and said, this is it for me. This is what I would do. I will impact, and I'm sure I will still get my income from it. So yeah, it's really powerful to find that balance, to slow down so that we don't burn out. Burnout, when it happens, is just not you. It's also so many people around you. So many people, your children, your parents that you're supporting, your family members, your work, your employees. It's just not you. So you are a tree. You're a tree. You have to always think about yourself as a tree. When something happens, you don't want to wither away because there are so many other branches that are depending on that root of yours. So please do look after yourself.
Thank you. Right. So is there another question?
Thank you, Vincent. I appreciate the moment that we had this conversation, and I'm just very grateful. Vincent is my brother from way back, and we saw recently, and he said, "Oh, it'd be nice for me to come and spend some time with people at Rockitech," and I'm glad I came to do it.
We are glad you are here, and this will go on and on, and
all right.
we'll be saying it, and now again it's coming out like this now from our expert like this, and then we continue to stress. Just like I said yesterday, it was one of our we had a what we call sprint retro. One of the feedback item is how can we maintain a work-life balance? We don't want to just work and break down.
We can do another session later on work-life balance. Let me know. We can also plan some other session much later on work-life balance. It's one thing I'm also very passionate about talking about.
Yeah. We can. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Tolilop, I just wanted to ask her a question. My name is Obianuju, or Uju for short. I heard you breaking down the course, so I was just wondering, is it like group sessions, or do you also do like one-to-one?
So if you go to abettermecoaching.com, you see all of our products there. We have a one-to-one.